I told people I don't want to be known as the guy who takes down celebrities, and that's why he has his fame. But everybody, when I tell you, if you go to the video, everybody, will you make another video? Will you make another video? I wasn't doing it the first 2 times to get attention. I was doing it because I genuinely give a fuck. But how I give a fuck is in a popular give a fuck type of way.
I want to tell you a little story about a guy who did something and it was blown out of proportion. 2008, I was touring with Godfrey, comedian, in Miami. And a young guy by the name of Will Hatcher came up to me and said, "Hey man, I think you're funny, the way you rant and riff. Would you like to shoot some videos for YouTube?" I was not familiar with what the fuck YouTube was at the time. But I was like, whatever, let's do it. As long as I didn't have to do anything, I was fine. And he said, well, let's record you ranting. And I was like, what the fuck is ranting? He like, just talk about something that you care about. Well, that's the problem. I don't really give a fuck about anything. And I spend most of my day searching endlessly for things that make me give a fuck about being above ground. I'm not ungrateful to be alive, but it's like at the same time, what am I really doing? I'm constantly searching for things to make me feel alive, to make me feel like what I am doing, that life is worth living. And those things are few and far between. And everything else is just, I just don't give a fuck. It's only so much, I only have so much bandwidth. With that being said, I said, I don't really give a fuck about anything, Will. He said, well, what are you passionate about? And the only thing I was really passionate about at the time was comedy and music. I ranted about how upset I was that everybody that was on the Bad Boy label was either dead, in jail, on drugs, not working, not on the Bad Boy label anymore. I wasn't mad at Puffy. I love Puff Daddy as an artist and what he has brought. I don't know this motherfucker as a person. And I don't give a fuck if I ever do. But my rant, where I was pointing my energy, was not at him as a person. So long story short, I ranted about how much I was upset at Puffy, the artist, I guess, for what had happened to all the artists on Bad Boy. Because I look like May's first album, what? Amazing. And then Craig Mack, rest in peace, fucking Craig Mack's first album, Flavor. No one's not gonna tell me that Flavor in Your Ear is not one of the hardest fucking beats ever made in the history of music in your fucking ear. Like, it's just amazing. Even the remix with LL Cool J rapping about, and he gave us Biggie. Like, it's Biggie. Biggie is one of the greatest MCs of all fucking time, dead or alive. It's not up for debate. It's what it's like air. It just is. You need it, it happens. It's there. Biggie's amazing. And I love Diddy because he had this swagger. He went to Howard, he was a kid. He's like, I want to do this, and he made it happen. He's an American dream in the sense of you're a black kid with nothing and you want to become something. That motherfucker is somebody to look up to. And I did not want to believe that this person that I had put and invested my energy in saying, man, I would like to be something like that one day, was shitty. You don't want to believe it. You know, you just don't want to believe it. But there's nothing that says that's not true. So I did this video, Will threw the camera in front of my face, and I just ranted about what I missed and what I felt about each person. I didn't write anything down. I just said some shit and left it at that. I didn't give a fuck. You have to, please understand. I have to give a fuck about something enough to care. And then I have to give a fuck about something enough to hate on it. There's no hate here when it comes to that. People, stop. Just stop. There's no hate here. I'm not jealous at no point. No fiber in me is jealous or envious of that man and what he has done. Will put the video out. He put it on YouTube. It's 2008 and the motherfucker got like 15,000 views within like 3 hours. That's a lot back then. Now that's nothing. So the video took off and it reached people. It reached a lot of people. It reached the person that I talked about. So much so that he went out and made a reply video. Diddy blog number 10 is called Bitch Assness, and he did a video, and he like went out and got. I guess he went out and got some. I guess he went out. I guess he went out and got some comics to help him out. Look, sometimes you have to add water shit to make it what you want it to be if you can't get the real thing. And he tried to come for me, and it didn't work, and I did not allow myself to get upset or respond with emotion because there was no emotion involved per se directly towards him. I was just upset at a situation. So I didn't reply. And then the video took off. Media takeout. I don't know, is media takeout still around? And then Bossip. Is Bossip still around? I think Bossip tried to cultivate whatever the fuck. But I had come up with Puffy is poison, right? And then everybody started running with the Puffy is poison thing. And nobody gave me credit, but I also didn't ask for it. I was like, yo, I'm copywriting, trademarking Puffy is poison. I did that. That's me. Like I did. Because you must understand, if I was for the spotlight, if I gave a fuck about anything, I would have tried to like capitalize and say, yo, book me. I'm the guy that says Puffy ain't like, I didn't care. You must understand, there are people out here who try to build a career off of lesser. So I didn't try to capitalize off of this. And then he made a reply video. And then I waited. Because people were like, yo, you should make a reply video. And I was like, I don't know what to say. And then I made a reply video. It didn't do as well as the first video. And then other people have lifted the video and put it on their website. It got a decent amount of views. I know it got over 1 million views, especially over the years. And I was famous for that. But I didn't care because that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be famous for being a comedian and a writer and all this shit. But I was famous on the internet for being a guy who went after somebody who fucked people over. And these people who got fucked over, we see what happened. Where's Mace? Mace went from being a rapper, reverend, whatever, right? And then Loon, Muslim, not Muslim, moved to Canada, making syrup. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, right? G-Dep, I don't even know what G-Dep was. G-Dep was on drugs. I don't know. And I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying everybody went through something. Shine went from being skinny Biggie to Belize to Jewish to all. He just went through all this shit. And Black Raw's first album was amazing and Total and all these people like, man, listen. You know how if Famine was a person and he walked through the crowd and everybody he walked by just like decayed? Like that's what it looked like to me when this dude walked past people's careers. I had to make sure he didn't have anything to do with DMX. Rest in peace. I loved it. Like when I say I love DMX, like I was in love with the fact that I was like, man, I hope there's some redemption in this. Like I wanted redemption for this man who made music that made us feel alive. But we get so caught up in the fact that somebody's pain is our entertainment that we fucking forget that that's still a human being at the end of the day that needs our help. But we don't give a fuck about that because we need entertainment. You need to be, you laugh, you dance, you jump, whatever. And then when they go in there, like, man, I can't believe we should have done something. So all these things were happening. Then I made a third video, and I just made that just for shits and giggles. I do this stuff because I'm bored. Once again, I don't give a fuck. I just do stuff. Like I get excited, I'm like, ooh, this might be fun. And I just do it and I just throw it out there. It's up to you. But the fact that I, with $1,000 or less in my bank account in 2008, made a video that someone that has $1,000 times infinity in their bank account fucking responded to something that I didn't know I was I wasn't an intern at Bad Boy. I didn't fucking drop mail off one day and hear whispers of somebody saying, you're fucking people over. I just cared about the music, Diddy. And anybody else who watches this video only cared about the fucking music, and the artist who was making the music were not able to make it because I lived and grew up in an era where that music meant something. And I wanted more of it, and because it was not available, that made me angry. That got a rise out of me. Then I got a rise out of me again when I saw an article released recently where this person wrote an article saying we need to stop doing this to we need to stop letting corporate America and white people, blah, blah, blah. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm all for black people fighting back and keeping our stuff in-house. I'm all for that. I'm all for us having some independency, right? I'm all for that. Black wealth, everything. I'm all for that. But sometimes we get the wrong fucking messenger. You're the wrong messenger. You cannot say, we need to do this, when you do the thing that you're saying we don't want to have happen to us anymore. So when I saw the video, I saw the article and people started trending it again. And then once again, Puffy is Poison comes up. But I don't go out like, I started that. But I also want to give an origin to the fact that I want people to know I don't know Diddy at all. He didn't fuck somebody I care about. He didn't fuck somebody I know. At least I don't know. I don't know. And then if they did, I don't give a fuck. But I just wanted people to know that the origin of the video is because I care about music. Because in this world where I don't think anything means anything, when I see or hear a song that fucking grabs me and my spirit and soul feel like it's alive, I want more of it. And I don't want anything to get in the way of it. And he got in the way of the things that made me feel shit. I have no problem with Diddy. I have no problem with Diddy. Look, Revolt is great. All that shit is great. I don't drink vodka. And I'm for it. I'm for black people succeeding. But you can't say that when you've succeeded off other black people. Like, for example, one day I was on Twitter and somebody tweeted to Carl Thomas, and Carl Thomas replied back saying, that person don't know what the fuck he talking about. He don't know the business. It's like, no, apparently you don't know the business either, Carl, because you wasn't working at the time. You were not on Bad Boy label. I don't know what the fuck happened. You on a hot label, then you wasn't on a hot label, and you tried to put music out, and nobody gave a fuck about it because you wasn't on a label that was credible at the time. Emotional is an amazing album. God damn you, Diddy. You made Emotional. You and Carl fucking made that. I love that album. I love that album. Like, I love that album as much as I love the woman that I discovered that album with in college. When I play that album, I think of her. And I go right back to college, and I go back to I Wish, and I go back to Summer Rain, and I think about her. Like, that's how great the album was. So when he said he don't know what the fuck you talking about, I really got mad then, because I was like, motherfucker, I'm fighting for you, and you don't give a fuck. Come on, CT. You know goddamn well I was speaking the truth. So please, be mad, be upset, be angry. I don't give a fuck. Right? I don't give a fuck. Y'all can be upset. I just love music. And I hate hypocrisy.
I am not looking for glory. I'm not trying to be famous off of taking somebody down. I'm just for the fucking people, dude. I'm for the people who don't even know they being taken advantage of. I'm for the people who really want music but can't get it because there's motherfuckers like Puffy fucking people over, stifling their creativity, making it where they can't put fucking music out, and then parade as if he's like, I'm for the people. I'm the guy. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop treating black people like this. We need to stop treating like... It's like, motherfucker, you're the one who's doing the thing that you're telling people not to fucking do. I wasn't trying to seek fame. I was just angry. But my anger and my passion together is a problem for people. I don't give a fuck about Puffy. I give a fuck about the people who want the music.